Dear viewers, this video is not intended for younger audiences due to the critical nature, mature themes, in some cases, and adult language used. Ravenpine's commentaries are made for the purposes of critique, entertainment, and educational value. Any potshots, insults, or any fits of anger are made for comedic effect and are not done in any way to attack the person or people I cover in these videos. If it offends anyone, I apologize for that, as it is not my overall intent. I ask those watching the video, those that I commentate on, to be respectful and to not fight over this or any other subjects will be discussed further down the line. Thank you for your cooperation. Sincerely, the creator of this video. Hello? Oh, a package. I don't remember ordering anything. Might as well bring it in. Oh, it says it's from the Future Foundation. I know some things about it, but I don't know what their intentions are with sending me this. Huh, looks like some sort of a note.
Dear Ravenpines, on behalf of all the agents, I would like to give a hearty welcome to the Future Foundation. We need your help more than ever. You see, our mission is to kick despair to the curb and spread hope to all people everywhere. Since it has been brought to our attention that you want to be a teacher for your commentary targets, we thought that you would be a perfect fit for us. Please accept this new avatar as a token of our appreciation. Sincerely, Andy Stevenson.
Wow, I don't think I signed up for this. I don't know whether to be honored by that or confused. I don't know how to respond to this.
How's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Who are you?
Who, us?
Yeah?
Oh, we are agents for the Future Foundation. I am Phineas and this is Mary.
I like traps. The ones we use on our enemies though.
Who are you, Fred from Scooby-Doo?
Sorry about that. Anyways, we have an assignment for you.
Before we start, I have a question. Are you familiar with an individual named Kimimorra?
Alas, poor man. I knew him all too well, Horatio.
That was Phineas's nickname back in high school.
And I was proud of that. Speaking of pride, there is a video about Pride Month that was in our folder for the longest time. Since this is your first assignment, you will be tasked with a tri-op commentary with you, me, and Mary. Oh, and about that new avatar.
I have a feeling I know the character. I'm gonna go to my room to change. BRB!
And she comes out of her room with her new avatar in 3, 2, 1.
Wow, this suits me rather well. Okay, I'm ready.
So am I.
Let's do this.
You'll never know what hit you. Won't see me closing in. I'm gonna make you suffer. This how you put me in. I'm underneath your skin. The devil within. You'll never know what hit you.
Hola amigos, Raven Pines here with another reason why I'm not Cloud Palace material. Oops! I mean, a commentary. Today's commentary is going to be on someone who I have covered in the past with his now deleted video on the Vic Mignogna situation. The link for that commentary is in the description if you're interested.
For further context, an individual within the Versus community and the anime community named Kimimorra made a video entitled Why I Hate Pride Month.
Before we start the commentary, yes, we are fully aware that this video is a year old. However, there is no indication of him disowning the video in any way. So in effect, it's still fair game to cover.
Also, I am going to preface this with a public service announcement. If you are not LGBT, that is fine. If you don't want to participate in Pride Month, that's okay too. Not all people who don't like Pride are like who we are covering. Are we clear on that? Okay, now, without further hesitation, let's go slay some demons.
You're telling me that if I open this door right now...
Fine, open it.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
I cannot fucking stand Pride Month. I certainly share the same opinions and feelings on Pride Month as Morgan Freeman feels about Black History Month. I think it's a worthless month, and I don't even understand why it even exists. It's nothing but an entire month dedicated to a uncontrollable fact about yourself. Like, I don't get it. The only reason why Pride Month has even made a thing is because corporations use it as free publicity and to sell overpriced products to people that don't know any better, because to corporations, we are nothing but a statistic, number, and dollar to them. All they see us as is statistics to make money off of and to get free advertisement. And if you can't see that, then you're a fool.
We are 2 minutes and 35 seconds into the video, and already you spew on an insult faster than you could say Texas. Look, I understand your frustrations about corporations participating in Pride Month, but the way you are going about it is just yuck.
Contrary to popular belief, there are some corporations that have done more than say, "We salute you," to the LGBT community in the past. For example, Target has partnered with organizations like the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce, and the Gay, Lesbian and Straight Education Network to support legal briefs and on other projects. Not only did they publish a Pride manifesto to showcase their year-round commitment to creating an inclusive culture, but the company also signed the Equality Act and is a platinum partner with the Human Rights Campaign.
But wait, there's more. The Coca-Cola Company was among the first to support the new UN standards for LGBTI rights. Plus, with an active LGBTQA business resource group in operation for more than 15 years, Coca-Cola has been on the forefront of ensuring equality for its LGBTQ associates. In fact, in 2011, the company began offering transgender inclusive health insurance coverage. In 2015, it began assisting with the costs of taxes imposed on eligible U.S. employees whose same-sex spouse or partner enrolled in health benefits and who lived in states that did not recognize same-sex marriage.
Hell, even fucking IKEA over the past few years celebrated the International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia to stand up for the rights of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and people of all sexual orientations and gender identities, with their focus being on transgender inclusion in 2018. Sure, there are some companies that use Pride Month for profit, but that is a big generalization on your part.
Oi Kimmy, fuck you. Gray Skittles are awesome.
The rainbow Doritos were cool. Too bad I haven't tasted them.
But going back to the original point I want to make is I'm sick and tired of this idea that if you're a certain sexuality or a certain sex, that somehow makes you special. No, you are not special because you choose to suck dick or lick pussy. Who you sleep with in bed does not make you special. I am not special because I choose to suck dick. Nothing about that makes me special or unique in any way, but we live in this generation of people that have to have a bitchy label so they can convince themselves that they're not a waste of human existence, and I'm tired of it. What happened to having character? Why are people so obsessed with sexuality? More importantly, why is the mainstream media so obsessed with sexuality as if it's the only thing that matters?
Because, Kimi, people are still being extremely and unfairly judgmental about who they are attracted to, with maps and zoophiles being the exception because they rightfully deserve to be judged how society sees fit. And let's not forget the intolerance still running rampant in not just some states in the US, but in some countries across the globe. I'm looking at you, China and Russia. Not to mention that people in the LGBTQ+ community have faced discrimination, abuse, rejection from their families, and a lot of other hardships in the past, like how black people have suffered all the other things other minorities had, except they were much, much worse. Lots of minorities, including the LGBTQ+ community, still face the same hardships even today.
Have you ever heard of the LGBTQ+ panic defense?
Well, this individual seems to be obsessed with guns and stuff, so probably not.
Allow me to explain. According to the LGBTR, the LGBTQ+ panic defense strategy is a legal strategy that asks a jury to find that a victim's sexual orientation or gender identity/expression is to blame for a defendant's violent reaction, including murder.
Not only that, but one of the most recognized cases that employed the LGBTQ+ panic defense was that of a man named Matthew Shepard. To give a bite-sized version, he was beaten to death by two men at 21 years of age in 1998. The men attempted to use the LGBTQ+ panic defense to excuse their horrific actions. Despite widespread public protest about it, the defense is still being used to this day.
This is an issue because this particular defense frequently draws stigmas, especially to the LGBT community, to justify horrific violence against LGBT individuals. It is rooted in homophobia and transphobia. Hell, there has even been an increase of transgender women of color being victims of hate crimes in 2019. FBI statistics in 2019 show that 1,656 hate crimes against people for their sexual orientation and gender identity were recorded. These crimes alone combined 18.8% of motivation in single biased hate crime incidents. Think about that for a second. Not to mention that, considering how people, especially youth in the LGBT community, experience suicidal tendencies, with 40% of LGBT youth having seriously considered offing themselves in a 2020 national survey on LGBTQ youth mental health, there are plenty of resources that people can use, such as LGBT-friendly therapy and suicide hotlines such as Trevor Lifeline for LGBT youth, Sage LGBT Elder Hotline for LGBT elders and caretakers, and Trans Lifeline for transgender people. Before we get to the next part, I want to say this. To all of the people watching this who have lost a loved one to suicide, you have my condolences, and my sympathy goes to you, your family, and your friends. And to all those who have suffered abuse and many mental health issues in addition to experiencing suicidal thoughts, I wish for you a steady recovery.
What happened to just treating gay people like they were just normal people? Like, to me, a gay person is just some normal guy that goes to work, takes care of his family, maybe plays some video games or sports, and oh, he just happens to be gay. Not, oh, I'm gay, I walk around wearing rainbow suspenders, and I wear booty shorts and make a jackass out of myself.
Well, not necessarily, since not all gay men act like how you are describing, but there are some gay men in real life that do. Don't believe me? Well, there are lots of them that you might meet in real life and see social media profiles of.
That reminds me. One of our agents, Abby Stevenson, is lesbian, but she doesn't talk about it much in public.
How come?
Let's just say her girlfriend, Amelia, works as a janitor at our headquarters and they both don't want to show how much they love each other due to fear of judgment from other people, including their families.
Oh.
Like, I don't understand this mentality of treating gay people like they're special 1 month out of the year. First off, are you trying to say that gay people can only be prideful of the fact that their sexuality is now accepted and no longer taboo 1 month out of the year? Much like a wise man once said, you're going to relegate my history to an entire month? Same is true with us. What, you're going to relegate my ability to be prideful of my sexuality just 1 month out of the year? Doesn't that kind of devalue it? It's like Valentine's Day. It's one of the most worthless holidays of all time, and it only exists so corporations can take advantage of it and sell you overpriced products. Like, Pride Month is worthless in the same way Valentine's Day is worthless. Why celebrate or only love someone 1 day out of the year? Shouldn't you be loving the person you love every day of the year, not just 1 day out of the year? If you're going to be prideful about your sexuality, which is really stupid, but if you're going to do that, be prideful of it every day, not just 1 month out of the year.
Okay, comparing Pride Month to Valentine's Day is like me trying to compare Mabel Pines to Sailor Moon. It's just a nonsensical comparison that really doesn't change much at the end of the day.
I'll compare a same month to a holiday because they're worthless. That is a pretty stupid assertion when you think about it.
Exactly.
Plus, there is one thing that you seem to be forgetting. If you celebrate Pride Month or, any holiday all year round, it loses its special touch. I'm gonna use Christmas and Thanksgiving as examples. Christmas and Thanksgiving are wonderful holidays once a year, but if you celebrate them every day of the year, they lose their magic over time. The point is, holidays shouldn't be celebrated every day. Let's be honest with ourselves.
You're telling me that if I open this door right now...
Fine, open it. How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
One thing I always talk about is you'll never hear people during Pride Month, or just in general, talk about the horrible domestic abuse among lesbian couples. When you do research into the domestic abuse statistics, lesbians statistically abuse their lovers far more often than heterosexual and homosexual couples combined, and we do not see these same numbers among bisexual girls.
Actually, some data from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention has shown that bisexual women have increased risk of intimate partner violence compared to both lesbian and heterosexual women.
Exactly. In fact, based on data from the 2010 National Intimate Partner and Sexual Violence Survey, the CDC report is the first of its kind to account for a respondent's sexual orientation. The report's findings include the following.
The lifetime prevalence of rape, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner is extremely high in the lesbian, gay, and bisexual community, with 43.8% of lesbian women, 26% of gay men, 61.1% of bisexual women, and 37.3% of bisexual men reporting experiencing this type of violence compared to 35% of heterosexual women and 29% of heterosexual men.
Among women who experienced rape, physical violence and or stalking in the context of an intimate relationship, the majority of bisexual women and heterosexual women, 89.5% and 98.7% respectively, reported only male perpetrators, while 67.4% of lesbian women reported only having female perpetrators. Plus, 48.2% of bisexual women and 28.3% of heterosexual women were first raped between the ages of 11 and 17 years old.
That's not all. Nearly 1.1 million gay men and over 900,000 bisexual men have experienced sexual violence other than rape in their lifetime. It should also be noted that approximately 1/4 of all men, regardless of their sexual orientation, reported being slapped, pushed, or shoved by an intimate partner at some point in their lifetime. 24% of gay men, 27% of bisexual men, and 26.3% of heterosexual men reported these cases of violence.
I challenge you to look at these numbers and think for yourself, what can I do to help these people? When you really think about it, LGBT+ survivors of domestic violence have fewer shelters and resources. I would highly recommend looking into how you can help them and give them the resources they need. Trust me, they will thank you for it.
I can't believe we used info from 2010 to disprove a source he used from the 1990s.
Oh, that's right! That's dated as hell! Since he conveniently left that detail out in the video, we'll provide a link to the whole source just so everyone can see how dated it is.
God damn it, Kimmy! You had one job as the presenter! One job!
You're telling me that if I open this door right now...
Fine, open it. How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
I don't need representation to feel like my existence is validated. Is it nice to see in media? Sure, but it's not something you're entitled to.
Hold up! You see this right here? Yeah, that's him whoring out his now defunct Teespring store. He does this a lot in the descriptions of his videos too, or at least from what I have seen from some of his other videos. I'll explain why that's a bad thing in my final thoughts.
Even if that godforsaken website is still up now, I wouldn't want to buy a t-shirt if his attitude is garbage.
Well said, Phineas.
You're telling me that if I open this door right now...
Fine, open it. How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
I am so sick and tired of it. Every single year, I dread this month. I remember last year, I made the top 10 worst lesbian characters in anime because people legit won't even criticize things like fictional gay characters, even if they are atrociously written or act despicable. Nobody will call them out, so I decided to do that.
What?
You might want to watch out for Neko Shadows' commentary on that video you mentioned, Kimi.
Didn't he say that he was going to remake that list fairly recently?
Yeah. Seems kinda strange though.
Agreed.
God damn it! Anyways, we are ending the video here because in all honesty, there's really not much to cover. And with all that said and done, the demons have been slayed.
Well, looks like it's time for final thoughts. I will go first. Well, Kimmy, you seem to be a very interesting individual, and not in a good way. In a lot of ways, you present yourself as a... what's the word? Contrarian? Yep. That sounds about right. Oh god, do I hate your attitude and how you present it. This video, the video you did on the Vic Magna situation, and your response to NaiTaiDai are pretty good examples of that. Nobody on the internet wants to watch a video made by a grumpy asshole. My advice would be to cut that shitty attitude of yours, that way you will be a lot more pleasant for people to be around.
Oh boy, do I have a lot to say about your visuals, especially with your OC design. First of all, the colors are way too saturated for the human eye to be considered tolerable, and the model looks like a knockoff anime figure that was deep fried in olive oil. I get that your character is supposed to be a gothic type like Mei from Another, but this ain't it, chief. The background is not much better. Again, the colors are very saturated to the point where it hurts my eyes. My advice would be to tone down the color saturation and to make your model look like an actual character and not like something someone would buy off of Wish.com or AliExpress. You can look up tutorials for whatever program you are using to improve your art a lot more. Please take this into consideration.
You know what's funny? When I initially took a peek at his content, especially his live streams, I noticed an unhealthy amount of self-whoring. Don't believe me? Look at the screenshot of the description of this very video. Not only did he promote his Teespring here in the description and in the video, but he also promoted his Patreon. In that instance where he was talking about representation, he presented the plug for the Teespring that really came out of nowhere. So he complains about representation, yet he's showing his own representation. Hypocritical much? But back to my point, does he honestly think that his videos are that good, especially the one we covered? If anything, that's just him making himself an internet brothel. Say what you will about people on YouTube promoting their Patreon pages, but folks like Giguk, Saberspark, Yakko CMN, Just Stop, and Animat have Patreon pages with different qualities. For example, for Giguk's Patreon, people can pay $50 a month for an on-camera shoutout. Saberspark's biggest tier not only gives folks access to the $2 and $5 donation perks, but they can also have their name listed as the top tier sponsor at the end of his videos. They also get to chat with him in an exclusive chat room on Discord each month. Folks who donate $25 a month to Yakko CMN get the shiny pink "Wowee! Thanks" roll on his Discord server. Just Stop's $10 perk gives donors a higher Discord rank and a bigger name of the credits of his videos, with the other perks being the same as his $5 tier. Hell, even Animat has a $100 perk that lets donors request anything they want for him to review with some specifications in hand. However, Kimmy's Patreon page has absolutely ridiculous perks. I dare you to click the link and see the perks themselves. Yeah, some of these are very stupid, aren't they? So, Kimmy, get your ducks in a row, stop making yourself an internet whore, and actually take the time to understand the other side of the argument, especially with topics like this. That way your credibility doesn't sink. Oh, and one last thing. Check to see if the sources you use are up to date for modern standards. It's the 2020s now, yet you're still stuck in the 90s. I hope this helps. If it doesn't, oh well, at least I'm with the Future Foundation now. That's all I have for this video. Until next time, this is Raven Pines and Co. saying take care and be kind to one another. Adios!
Mission accomplished.
Oh, I almost forgot. We have something for you.
Oh, thanks, Mary. I'll make sure to take very good care of it. Godspeed, you two. Until we meet again.
Goodbye.
Well, looks like this journal will really come in handy. But how?